So in this video, we'll be talking about the parabolas. So the first thing that we need to do is to define what the parabola is. So the parabola is the locus of all points in a plane equal distance from a fixed line, the directrix, and a fixed point. The focus. So this is what we call the parabola. Then it goes and it also contributes to central parabolas have their vertex at the original focus on x-axis and directrix parallel to the other axis. So this is what we call the parabolas. Now these parabolas, they have what we call the standard equations. So when you see here down here, these parabolas, I say that they have what we call the standard equation, right? So when you see the down part here, these down equation this side, they are what we call the standard equations of the parabolas. So these are the standard equations of of parabolas. So if someone asks you what is standard equation of the parabola, this is the one which is standard equation of the parabola. So the standard of equation of the parabola is this one, which is here, if the vertex in this situation, if the vertex in this situation is 0, 0. So if the vertex in this situation is 0, 0, then you have the standard equation, which is y squared equal to 4p then x. So this is your standard equation for a parabola. And this parabola here, it's showing us that it's moving in the in the x-axis. Oh yes, in the x-axis. Why is it moving in the x-axis in this situation? Oh, I can show you that the directrix, it is in the x-axis. So this part here, which is x, this x is not squared. So since the x is not squared, this means that it is in the x-axis, or the directrix, it is in the x-axis. That's what it means in this situation. Then the other equation, or the other standard equation, is this one. When the center is 0, 0, you have this. So this is the equation of the parabola if the vertex is 0, 0. So if you look at this, the second one, it will tell you that your directrix is in the it is in the y-axis. Why the directrix is in the y-axis? This side we have y, which is not squared. The only thing that is squared in this situation is it's x. So x is squared, then y is not squared. So meaning that y, it is the one that it will determine the directrix. So this is the things that we'll be looking at. Now let's go to a bit about when the vertex, it's h, k. So this means that we have shifted from from the x-axis, or from the original point, and we have moved to the other point, which is h, k. So in this situation, you will do like this. So it will be y minus k square equal to 4p there, then x minus h. So this is the standard equation of the parabola if we're having the vertex h, k. So how about the other one? The other one, it is just the same, meaning that it will be x minus h squared equal to 4p, then y minus k, like this. This is your standard equation if your center is h, k. So now I've just introduced about the equations, but we haven't gone into detail, or we need to take things that that will help us in order to come up with the correct diagram. Now let's go to detail, right? So into detail, I said that the standard equation of the parabola. Let's write the standard equation of the parabola of the first one. The one that was the first one. The one that was the first one, it was y squared equal to what? 4b then x. I said that this is your standard what? Equation when the vertex. So when I say the vertex, it is the turning point, right? When the vertex is 0, 0. So when the vertex is 0, 0, meaning that your standard equation it will be y squared equal to 4b then x. So in my own understanding, or the simpler ways, is that vertex, it will show you the type of the equation that you are having, right? Then Directrix, which is another one, Directrix, it will show you where the graph is. So in this situation, we have y squared equal to 4b then x. This is what you're having, right? So in short, our Directrix in this situation is x is equal to negative p. Why it is x is equal to negative p? Why is it x equal to negative p? The situation is here. This is where the situation is. Have you seen this part there? There is x. This x is not squared. So if x is not squared, meaning that your Directrix on that part, it will be x equal to negative p, right? This p will be finding it in the equation. Where we're going, we'll talk more about it. Then the next thing is what we call the what? The focus, right? So in this situation, the focus, it follows where the Directrix is. So in this situation, the Directrix is showing us, is telling us that it is in the what? In the x-axis. So in this situation, you're gonna say positive p, comma what? Comma 0, like that. So if you see this p, when you can see the p is in the what? In the x-axis, comma what? Comma 0. Because in the 0, we don't have anything that is in the what? In the y-axis. That's why I'm saying comma 0, like that. So this is your focus. Then the other thing that you need to consider when you're drawing a graph of parabola, it's what we call the axis, or the equation of the what? The axis. So the equation of the axis, the way you do it, we do it in this way. What was squared? What was squared? It was y squared. So in this situation, it would be y equal to 0. So you say, just say y equal to 0. Because the vertex is equal to 0, so you just say y equal to 0, just like that. Now the question is, what do you do when you have this? Or how can you draw this question? So let's plot this part. Let's plot what we're having. So according to what we're having, what is the vertex? The vertex is 0, 0. That's the vertex, or the turning point. Now, what is the focus? The focus is positive p, 0. So that positive p, is it in the x-axis or in the y-axis? It is in the x-axis. So meaning that your p, it will be somewhere here. So this is your p. And then that is your p. So meaning that is your what? Focus. P, 0, like that. And then where is your Directrix? Your Directrix is showing its x equal to negative p. So since it's showing x equal to negative p in that part, meaning that we have a negative p. So which part in the x-axis is negative? It is this side which is negative, and this side is what? Positive. So what you do is that we have to cut the x-axis. Why are we supposed to cut the x-axis? Because it's saying what? X equal to negative what? P. So let's cut the x-axis in that part. So when you're cutting the x-axis in this part, what you do, let's cut, so meaning that this is your Directrix, so you cut your x-axis like that. So in this situation, your Directrix, it is x equal to negative p, like that, right? That is your Directrix, right? That is the what? Your Directrix. Now, what do you do next? The other thing that you do is you draw. Now, when you're drawing the parabola, the shape of the parabola, most of the people know that the shape is this is n and what u, like that. But in this part, we'll be following where there's a what? Where there's a focus. So the focus all the time is supposed to be inside the what? The parabola. So let's draw the same parabola. So meaning that the graph will come from this side, will move. What's your turning point is 0, 0. So meaning that when it reaches here, then it will go like this. So this is your graph that we are talking about. So this is how you draw the graph. So in this part, I can say this is your Directrix, and this is the what? The parabola or the equation. So in short, we don't write the parabola, but we just write the equation, which is y squared equal to 4bx. Then this is your vertex, this is your vertex here, and this is your what? The focus. That's all. Again, the line of symmetry or the x-axis. So the axis. So the axis in this situation, if you remember, this was your axis. This part here, it is cutting the what? The y. So this is y equal to 0. So that's why that's the what? The axis. Now, how about when you are having the the parabola that has the vertex, which is h, comma k. So how does the standard equation look like, right? You need to have the first idea on how the standard equation of 0, 0, which is the vertex, looks like, right? I said that it's y squared equal to what? 4p and x, right? This is the equation or the standard equation of the parabola if the vertex is 0, 0. Now, in a situation whereby you are having the vertex, which is h, k, right? So the standard equation of this, which is h, k, what you need to understand is that it will be y, the open brackets like that, right? Y. So what is in the x-axis? It's k. Also, what is in the y-axis is k. What is in the x-axis is h. So the one which is in the y-axis is k, and the one that is in the x-axis is h. So meaning that we started with y. So what is in the y-axis? It's k. So it is supposed to say minus what? K, then you square like that, equal to 4p. Now here it's x, meaning that you say x minus what? Minus h. Why are we doing minus h? Because we have shifted in the y-axis by h, in the x-axis by h, and y-axis by k. So meaning that this is your standard equation, right? So here let's know that the vertex for this, it is h, comma k. Now in that part, what is your Directrix? So your Directrix in this situation will be, so this is your Directrix. In this situation, is this moving in the x-axis or moving in the y-axis? It's still moving in the x-axis because x is not squared. So this is x equal to negative p plus, it has shifted in the what? In the x-axis. such that you have to say plus what? Plus h. Why plus h? Because h is the one that is in the x-axis. Then what else? What else is what we call the focus. So in this situation, the focus in this situation is still in the x-axis, right? Because the directrix it is in the what? X-axis, and the focus also is supposed to be in the what? X-axis. So in this situation, it will be P plus H, or plus the what? The vertex that we're having there, right? P in the x-axis plus H, then comma what? K. So P it is in the x-axis. Why it is in the x-axis? Our directrix it is in the what? X-axis, right? So those are the main things that what we consider. What else that we consider? It's what we call the equation of what? Axis. So I'll say equation of axis. So in this situation, the equation of axis will be what? Go to the point where there is a square on the equation. Where there's a square in the equation, this is the part which is squared, right? So meaning that it would be y minus k, then equal to 0, which is y equal to what? To k. So in this situation, your equation of axis, it is y equal to what? To k. Now let's draw the graph for this. How will the graph for this will be? So in this situation, you draw a graph of that. So if you look, your directrix is negative p plus h, right? It is still this side. If it was the numbers, it would have shown that it is this side, right? Negative p plus h. How about your vertex in this situation? Your vertex in this situation is h, comma, it's what? H, comma, k. So now, it means that we have to move in the x-axis by h. Again, we have to move in the y-axis by what? By k. By k, right? So meaning that it is in somewhere at this point, right? Now, after doing this, what do you do next? This is your vertex in short. So that is your what? H, comma, what? K. Then the other thing is the focus. The focus, we have to move P plus H in the x-axis. So meaning that when you move P plus H, meaning that it's this side, right? So this side is P plus what? H and the point K. So this is your what? Your focus. So if your focus is this, meaning that your parabola will move from this side, will move like this, and to go like that. So this is just about when you're having the what? Formulas, right? The questions that are coming, or the good examples that are there, very soon we'll be passing through those examples so that you can know how to draw these questions, right? Now, let's go to the parabola, which is in the y-axis, right? Let's write a parabola that is in the what? Y-axis. The parabola that is having in the y-axis. So how does it look like? The parabola that is in the y-axis, it starts with the x squared. So let's start, which is what? X squared equal to 4p then y, like that. So this is x squared equal to 4p plus y. If the vertex is 0, 0, this is the standard equation, right? Right? Now, we have also to, maybe let's just do together, everything together. Again, if the vertex is h, k, what is the standard equation of the parabola? it will be what? X minus h squared equal to 4p. Then what's the y? Y minus k, like that. This is the standard equation, and that's the standard equation of the parabola. Then here, let's find our Directrix. In this situation, our Directrix will follow this part, the one which is not squared, the x or the y. So here it is the y which is not squared, so meaning that our Directrix, it is in the what? Y, in the y-axis. So it will be y equal to negative p, like that, right? That's our Directrix. And what is the focus? In this situation, your focus, it will still follow the Directrix. The Directrix, it is in the x-axis or y-axis. The Directrix in this situation, it is in the y-axis, such that your focus will be also in the what? Y-axis. So to be 0 in the x-axis, comma what? Comma positive p, like that. Then, how about the equation of axis? So this is what we call the equation of what? Of axis. So in this situation, your vertex is 0, 0. And which one among of these two, x or y, is squared? It is what? X is squared, such that your equation of axis will be x equal to 0, like that. How about the when you are having the vertex which is h, k, right? Here, according to the equation that has been given, the equation here is showing that it's moving in the what? In the y-axis. Now let's find the Directrix in this situation. What is our Directrix? So in this situation, our Directrix will be y, since it is in the y-axis, to be y equal to negative p, then plus. It is moving in the what? Y-axis, so meaning that we have to get the k, like that. How about the focus in this situation? The focus in this situation will be what? It will be h, comma, then p plus what? Plus k, right? That's it. That's the focus. How about the equation? Equation of axis. So equation of axis, I usually say that which one is squared? It is this part which is squared, right? So you get the third part which is x minus h equal to 0. Then your x will be h. So the equation of axis here is x equal to h. Now let's draw this equation. Now let's draw this what? Equation. Right? So on this equation, what is our vertex? So let's use the first one. What was our vertex? Our vertex, it was 0, 0. That was our vertex. Then the next thing is, what's your Directrix? The Directrix is showing negative what? Negative p. So it will be y equal to negative p, which is down here. So we have to draw like that. What is your focus? Your focus is 0, p. So meaning that 0, p is here. That's your focus, 0, p. Then what will be your parabola in this part? Your parabola will move, go like this. Make sure that your focus, it is inside the what? The parabola. When the p is greater than 0 for this, when the p is greater than 0 for this, the parabola will point up. But when p is less than 0, the parabola will point down. Even this side again, the one which is moving in the x-axis, when p is less than 0, or when p is greater than 0, the parabola will point to the right side. When p is less than 0, then the parabola will point to the negative side or to your left side. So those are the things that you need to take note of when you are drawing the parabolas. So this is just the introduction, and the questions they are coming.